What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to The Cosmic Wonder. I'm Warren Thompson. Thanks for stopping by the channel today. We have a lot of news today, but one of the most important pieces of news information that has come out today is about Tenoch Huerta. If you haven't heard, he was recently accused of sexual assault. This allegation was made against him by the musician Maria Elena Rios. Now, many people are already thinking, oh great, this is another Jonathan Majors case here. Jonathan Majors, who plays Kang the Conqueror in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, was recently arrested and is currently in court for some assault charges. He has not been proved innocent and he has not been proved guilty. Everyone is waiting what the court is going to decide, and everybody is waiting to see what Marvel Studios is going to decide to do with Jonathan Majors. Are they going to recast him? Are they going to simply move away from the character? There are a lot of decisions that Marvel needs to make right now, which has fans on the edge of their seats. And now we have the sexual assault allegations coming out against another actor who plays another villain of the MCU. However, this one seems a little bit more straightforward, and today Tenoch Huerta himself has even come out and talked a lot about the situation, calling it completely false. So right off the bat, it doesn't seem like we have to worry too much at the possibility of Marvel Studios possibly recasting Namor, the Submariner, who of course was the villain of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. And not only that, but Namor, or Namor, the Submariner in the comics, is a major Marvel villain. He's a really big deal in the comics. He is a major part of the Avengers vs. X-Men story, and not to mention he is one of the original members of the Illuminati. Now, Namor does ride that line of hero or villain in the comics. He's always kind of right in between, and you never really know what he's gonna do. And that's how we kind of see him in the MCU right now. He was the villain of Wakanda Forever, but perhaps he could turn good. But once he turns good, he could definitely switch back again and go against Wakanda and the rest of the world. We already know that that's what he wants to do. So he plays a big role in the comics and is going to be playing a big role in the MCU. So it is good news that he has come out and addressed all of this himself, most likely due to what he's seen happen with Jonathan Majors, but it really does seem like he is not at much jeopardy right now of losing the role or being recast. Let's dive into what he said. Now, as I mentioned about the claims, it's pretty straightforward. Maria Elena Rios has accused the Marvel actor of sexually assaulting her, and she called him a sexual predator. However, as it turns out, Maria isn't just some woman who happens to know Tenoch Huerta or has been around him a few times. As it turns out, they actually dated. And we find this out from Tenoch Huerta himself. And today, in a pretty long statement addressing these allegations, here's what he had to say. This statement was sent directly to Variety and published on his Instagram, and he says that these claims are false and completely unsubstantiated. And he said, "I cannot let it go unchallenged any longer. About a year ago, I dated Elena for several months. It was entirely consensual at all times, as countless others can attest. And throughout it was a loving, warm, and mutually supportive relationship. After it ended, however, Elena began to misrepresent our interactions both privately and in front of groups of mutual friends." So there's more to his statement, but right off the bat, he basically states that a lot of people can attest that they were dating in a very consensual relationship and that he was very loving and warm. Then they broke up, and she essentially started to misrepresent their relationship, stating that that's not how it actually was, and that he was actually sexually assaulting her. And apparently this went on for a little bit, and then Tenoch Huerta said this: "As a result, a few months ago, I engaged a legal team to commence the appropriate actions to protect my reputation and refute these irresponsible and false accusations that can cause great prejudice and damage. Although I am by no means perfect, I know that these allegations are simply untrue, and while I will always work to improve myself, I need to contest claims that are both false and offensive." Now, as always with this type of news that comes out, we try to remain pretty neutral. However, since Tenoch Huerta took legal action 3 months ago, way before these claims even came out to the public, and the fact that they did actually date, and there are a lot of witnesses that can say that Tenoch Huerta was indeed a loving person to Maria, it seems like Tenoch Huerta isn't in a terrible spot right now, not like Jonathan Majors. With the case of Jonathan Majors, when these allegations came out, when he got arrested, a lot of people people came out online and started to state, yeah, we've had really bad experiences with him as well. He's not a nice person, he's hard to work with, etc., etc. Even though Jonathan Majors seemingly has a lot of evidence proving that he is innocent, these people coming out with these statements definitely did not help his situation. And it puts a lot of pressure on Marvel Studios at that point in time. But with Tenoch Huerta, it seems very different. He has already been trying to get this situation and his name cleared up privately. He hired a legal team and they were handling the situation, trying to make sure that these claims weren't viewed as true when he says that they are undeniably false. And again, he says that there are a lot of people out there that can testify that they were actually in a very loving relationship before, and then when it broke up, things kind of got nasty, as a lot of us know can happen. Now, we don't know exactly what is going on. Of course, both parties are saying something different, but what it looks like on the outside, as far as Tenoch's career in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is concerned, it still seems pretty solid. This isn't anything like the Jonathan Majors case. He wasn't arrested, and he was already trying to clear his name privately on his own legally for months now. So as far as Tenoch Huerta being in jeopardy of being recast as Namor the Submariner, I don't think he's in that much jeopardy right now, especially if he's already 3 months into the legal process of trying to get his name cleared before any of this came to the surface. So he has most likely already been talking to Marvel Studios and Disney about all of this. And a lot of people that have worked with Tenoch Huerta on sets in the past have all said that he was an absolute pleasure to work with. And nobody else right now is coming out stating, yeah, Tenoch Huerta, yeah, he is actually a bad person. We have been trying to tell people that for a long time. In fact, it's the opposite. Tenoch Huerta is saying, go ahead, ask anybody. They can attest that I was a good boyfriend. I had a great relationship with Maria until, of course, it ended. And the fact that they dated and had a good relationship also does help his case. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that nothing happened. And again, until it's all made very clear, we don't really know. But as far as Tenoch Huerta possibly being recast in the MCU, that doesn't seem very likely right now. And it does seem like he is going to be coming back to the MCU, maybe not soon, but definitely in Phase 7, when the mutants and the X-Men are going to be coming to the MCU. He was called a mutant in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. He called himself a mutant, actually. Then, after Black Panther Wakanda Forever came out, Kevin Feige, when talking about the future of the X-Men, even said, we already have some mutants in the MCU. Did you meet Namor in Black Panther Wakanda Forever? Confirming, he is indeed a mutant, and when the X-Men and the mutants finally do come in Phase 7, he should play a big part, because as I mentioned, in Marvel Comics, Namor is a pretty big character. Plus, not to mention the representation that he has for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A lot of people, including myself, because I am part Mexican, were really excited to see him come into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I've heard many people talk about how he was so cool and how they were so excited to see their own representation in the MCU. Even though he was kind of a bad guy, it was still really cool to see, and hopefully his role as Namor, or Namor, the Submariner, is not at jeopardy. We already have enough to deal with right now with the Jonathan Majors allegations. We don't want to lose another villain, because it does seem like Jonathan Majors is in great jeopardy right now. Hopefully Tenoch Huerta isn't. It doesn't seem like he is, but of course, as always, if we hear anything else about the situation, if anything new develops, we'll be sure to do an update. So don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. And also, if you subscribe and leave a comment, you're entered in our giveaway for a chance to win an Xbox Series X, a PS5, some Marvel Legends items, or some DC items. The winner gets to pick one item, and we pick a winner at the end of each month. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.